Greetings and thanks for joining me once again for Electric Avenue's YouTube updates. Coming to you with the updates for October 31st, Halloween 2025. So I'm just going to jump in because there's so much to get to, and my UPS guy came late, and so I need to show you what I can show you. First thing I'm going to show you today, I do box sets first. Genesis. And this came out actually a couple weeks ago. Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. This is the vinyl edition, which we didn't have at the time, but someone did order it. $200 for 5 LPs and a Blu-ray. The Blu-ray has the Dolby Atmos mix. The LPs have the 2025 remasters. Lamb studio album, 1974 stereo mix from the original tapes, and live from the Shrine Auditorium with a previously unreleased encore. So if you missed that, you might be interested in that. Another... What? Sorry, I've got stuff everywhere here. Another box set this week. So Rhino and Warner, I'm having issues. Everything got topsy-turvy today. So, good Lord. Rhino is still doing their Rrrrrrrrocktober stuff. And this week, box sets Rush 2002 to 2012. This is the box set that features Vapor Trails remixed, Feedback, Snakes and Arrows, and Clockwork Angels. It's a little more difficult to get some of these albums, and so at this point, so they're doing a special edition of this. I don't know if they're color vinyl or not. But anyway, that is the new Rush box set. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. All right. This week's new releases. This just showed up. I had to dig it out of the box to show you. This is the new Florence the Machine album, Everybody Scream. Perfect for Halloween. Looks a little spooky, Florence, but there's some great stuff on here. I've heard a couple of the songs. Anyway, so Florence, British, incredible singer, songwriter, and artist, and I just love her, and I'm glad to see that coming out. Also, of note to some hip-hop fans, Tyler, the Creator's Chromacopia, finally out on vinyl after like a 10 or 11 month wait. I don't know why so long. But anyway, it's got this cool embossed back, and then the front, his eyes are sort of embossed too and sort of sunk in there. But I suppose a little bit of a controversial album because it's a little more hard-edged, I guess, than some of his other work. But anyway, Chromacopia, Tyler the Creator, always interesting artist and fascinating. Radiohead, a live recording of the Hail to the Thief album. 2003 to 2009 is where these recordings were taken from, and I think this is one of their best records, the album. It sort of gets lost in between Kid A, Amnesiac, and In Rainbows, but there's some really, really strong material on this record. Their live recordings are slightly different sometimes than the studio ones, and so, yeah, Radiohead live. This actually came out a couple of weeks ago, and it was very hard to get. We didn't get it when it came out. They only made like 2,000 of them. They may be gone by the time you see this video. I'm sorry about that if that happens. We didn't get very many. But on limited mint green vinyl, the Foo Fighters' first album as a double vinyl, 2 LPs. It's always only been 1 LP. So this is Dave Grohl. He made the whole thing pretty much after Kurt passing. The second record, the first album, has the actual record, the normal record, featuring This Is a Call, I'll Stick Around, Big Me, Exhausted. The second one features bonus tracks, 3 tracks per side: Winnebago, How I Miss You, and Podunk. And side 4, Ozone, For All the Cows live, and Watershed live. So kind of a rare pressing of this, I think, and they are going to go fast. So I'm sorry. It pays to look at my Facebook post because I think you would have seen that there first. by the time this video came up. So Rhino Hi-Fi is doing part of the Rocktober stuff. And they, this summer they released all the Doors records. Those sold out very quickly. They're putting out stuff every couple of months. They actually just put out the Buckingham Nicks, Lindsay and Stevie record that had not been available for 50 years. And that's the album that they did before they got into Fleetwood Mac. And I just got it back after being out of it for like 5 weeks. They finally got some more of those in, and I think they're already sold out again too. So get the ones we have while you can if you want it. These run about in the $40 range. Anyway, this week's band is ZZ Top and Eliminator. So they've done the first 5 albums, and now these are the second 5. This is their biggest selling album. And the reason I show that one first, this one features Sharp Dressed Man, Legs, and Give Me All Your Lovin' were the huge hits. TV Dinners is also on here. Dirty Dog. It's a great record. There's a lot of synths on it. It's great, and I think it's still got enough of that rock element for some people. And that was followed by Afterburner, which goes a little heavier into the synth stuff. Sleeping Bag was a really big hit. People maybe outside of ZZ Top fans don't necessarily remember that song, but if you heard it, you probably would. It's got a lot of keyboards on it. It was very cool. It kind of had almost like they were listening to a lot of Owner of a Lonely Heart or something. They said they listened to a lot of OMD, so maybe it was that sort of influence. This also features Rough Boy and Velcro Fly. Those were the singles from this, also featuring the song Woke Up With Wood. So anyway, Billy Gibbons, just putting it out there, telling it like it is. A couple other albums that they're reissuing. El Loco gets Rhino Hi-Fi treatment. This one features Tube Snake Boogie and 10-Foot Pole and Pearl Necklace. That's a fun record. Also, DeGueo, another pretty fun record. This one, I Thank You, She Loves My Automobile, I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, Fool for Your Stockings, Dust My Broom, fun stuff. And also then from later, Recycler, their 1990 kind of comeback record that didn't do quite as well. It was a little more sort of, didn't really know what it wanted to be, but for ZZ Top fans, it's hard to get. It does have My Head's in Mississippi, Penthouse Eyes, Concrete and Steel, and the infamous Burger Man. So, all right. So you got those. Let's see. What else can I show you? What else can I show? I missed this box set. Well, I didn't miss it, but so if you want the vinyl of this, you'll have to let me know because it's a smaller edition of what's on CD. But Bob Dylan and the vinyl, this is the CD box, Through the Open Window, the Bootleg Series, Volume 18, 1956 to 1963. This is really early Dylan stuff. A lot of people haven't heard a lot of this stuff. Pretty folky. And yeah, the vinyl has fewer things. So this is about $150, I think, is the general price point on it. And then there's also, if that's too much for you, there's a 2 CD edition with a book in it that sells for, I guess, around $35, $36, something like that. $35 range. So Dylan, bunch of early live stuff. As long as I'm on the box sets, I may as well show you this one too. There are so many box sets coming out. The Who Are You? This is also the CD edition. This is in the $125, $130 range. This is 8 discs, 7 CDs, and a Blu-ray. Features the original album, the Glyn Johns mix, the sessions and demos, Shepperton 1977, 1978, and 79, and Live USA 78, 79 parts 1 and 2, and then a Blu-ray audio. So this one features the song, Who Are You? Who. Yeah, well, you don't want to hear me sing that. There's also a Half Speed Master vinyl edition of that, done by Miles Showell at Abbey Road. And that's not cheap. Those run in the $45 range almost. Okay, where am I at? Rocktober. I just want to continue with some Rocktober stuff. There's so much of it. Let's see here. My stuff got a little out of order, but one of the best records of the 70s, and it's finally gotten a decent audiophile pressing that's affordable. Warren Zevon and Excitable Boy. This is on Rhino Handmade. And this is lacquers cut from the original analog masters by Chris Bellman at Bernie Grunman Mastering, featuring Werewolves in London. How appropriate on Halloween. It remains the best-selling album of Zevon's career. Yeah, it's such a great album. And anyway, can't recommend that enough. Featuring Lawyers, Guns, and Money. Also, great song. Kind of an interesting Devo collection here. There's a Devo documentary on Netflix that premiered called Devo, and this is the soundtrack from it. This is like a 1 LP greatest hits. That's a smaller version of what they put out last year. It features the Warner versions of Mongoloid and Jocko Homo. Features I Can't Get No Satisfaction, Uncontrollable Urge, Girl You Want, Freedom of Choice, that's side A. Side 2, Whip It, Gates of Steel, Working in the Coal Mine, Beautiful World, Through Being Cool, and That's Good. It's a pretty damn solid greatest hits collection. So if you're into Devo, but you're not like, I need everything that they did, that's a good place to start. Also, the Stooges Funhouse Rocktober. This is alternate takes of the 1970 classic. Limited edition black and white vinyl. Featuring Iggy, Dave Alexander, Ron Ashton, and Scott Ashton, and Steve Mackey. This has TVI, take 7 and 8. 1970, take 3. Funhouse, take 3. It's pretty cool that they're putting that stuff out on standalone vinyl. I don't know why they don't save it for Black Friday Record Store Day, but hey, good for you. You can get it now. The Faces, early Faces. This is another kind of cool collection. Rod Stewart in there. This is made in London, 1969. Their first recordings, previously unreleased from Olympic Studios. Rare live rehearsals, newly remastered and restored to vinyl. Yeah, so it's just awesome that they're doing this stuff. Very, very archival. Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood, Ronnie Lane, Kenny Jones, and Ian McLagan. Bad Company. And this has been out before, but this is a silver vinyl edition for their anniversary, 50th anniversary, featuring Can't Get Enough, Feel Like Making Love, and Good Lovin' Gone Bad, plus 2 previously unreleased tracks. Silver vinyl. And also the Ramones, Pet Sematary, a 12-inch single of that sort of commemorative for a Halloween favorite, reissued as a 12-inch single for the first time since original release on limited edition blood red vinyl. It features Pet Sematary on side A and Sheena as a punk rocker and Life Goes On side 2. Let's see, what else here do I have? Oh, Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. This is a 50th anniversary 12-inch single of this, featuring I'm in Love with My Car on the B-side. It is on transparent blue vinyl. You know it's going to sound good because all the grooves will be nice and spread out. Let's see here. What else we got? We got a lot of stuff here, people. Okay. 10 years after, and a remaster of their album Shh. Seminal 1969 studio album, newly remixed and mastered, or mixed and mastered. Double vinyl 2025 stereo mix by Charlie Russell. Previously unreleased live album from Helsinki, 3rd December 1969. Mastered and cut at Air Mastering. That's way cool because it's the album and then you get live stuff as well. So if you're into 10 years after, they also did a CD box for that, which has the stereo mix and the original 1969 mix and the live in Helsinki. This is actually about the same price as the vinyl. I think they're both 40 bucks ish. So, okay. Well, let's see. New Order have a reissue campaign going, and so they're reissuing their vinyl records from the early part of their career. There's Movement, which was the first after Ian died from Joy Division. Low Life, probably my favorite. This features Perfect Kiss, Subculture, Face Up. I love these pictures too of Jillian and Steven. Also, Power, Corruption, and Lies, probably the most famous of these. Does not feature Blue Monday because they were like, oh, it doesn't necessarily fit on the album, and it's so big, let's just release it as a 12-inch. Became the biggest selling 12-inch single of all time. And then Brotherhood, another great 80s record. This features Bizarre Love Triangle. So 4 great New Order reissues, all fairly reasonably priced. They did not do audiophile pressings of them, but I wonder at what point in the future that will probably happen. So anyway, a King Crimson reissue. This is the Lizard album. These also came on little double CDs or CD and Blu-ray packages where the second disc is like a Dolby Atmos. They did that for actually for 2 albums. This one, Lizard, and In the Wake of Poseidon. But Lizard is the one that's out on vinyl. The Elemental mixes. So these are new 2025 Elemental mixes on 200 grams super heavyweight vinyl, mixed and produced by David Singleton. So taking out parts of the songs and sort of putting them to the fore, things that maybe people hadn't heard before, I guess. But anyway, King Crimson fans, that's something that I'm definitely interested in hearing. There's actually, I think, 4 of these coming out this week. I got 2 right so far. Grizzly Bear, Vicatamest, and Yellow House. Grizzly Bear, an incredibly underrated band. They should be talked about on the same scopes with like Radiohead, that level, but they don't necessarily get the praise, and they've talked about that quite a bit, about how it's hard to make it in the business because they don't get the same kind of praise and attention. But Daniel Rawson is an incredible guitarist and member of this band. Anyway, Grizzly Bear, a couple of reissues there. One that I've never seen on vinyl before that's getting a reissue, Blondie and No Exit, Debbie Harry. This is their sort of 90s comeback record. It's a typical Blondie album in the sense that it's kind of all over the map, but it does feature their hit song Maria, which was a really great comeback song, remastered and expanded. The iconic 1999 album, a little later than I thought, featuring Maria, No Exit, and Nothing Is Real But the Girl. Rare and previously unreleased material, new in liner notes, special crystal clear double vinyl. Yeah, it's a very interesting album. The last song, Dig Up the Conjo, very strange. Like, they sort of, some of it calls back to like the Hunter era. I mean, it'd been like 15 years since they made an album as a band, even though Debbie and Chris Stein and Clem Burke had sort of worked together all along. There are a couple of Depeche Mode reissues this week, but so far I just have Some Great Reward. Sony is now putting these out. Mute is still involved, but they acquired Depeche's catalog. This features People Are People, Master and Servant, Lie to Me, and Somebody, one of their best albums. That was the one that had me completely sold by the time I heard that. This has already been out, but they added a track to it. It's the new Clips album, and they've reissued it. Someone said, well, they just put the best song on it. It's the new song. And I'm like, okay. So Clips, that's out again already. Pink Pantheress gets a reissue of her 2021 album called To Hell With It. This is the exclusive Sparkle Universe edition. So she's like hotter than hot right now. I mean, she's really taking off. Charlatans UK new album, We Are Love. So if you're a fan, Charlatans have a new record. Let's see. Katie Tunstall gets a reissue of her Eye to the Telescope album. This is the one that featured Black Horse and the Cherry Tree. That was such a big hit. It really like pushed her to the front, and that was kind of pre-Adele. So, but it was kind of the song that like when Adele did Rolling in the Deep, I was like, it's just Black Horse and the Cherry Tree again, a good version of it. But KT is a really cool person. I got to meet her on that tour. She was very sweet and awesome musician. So I think she gets a little bit forgotten in some ways in the US, but that was a pretty big hit. For jazz people, Carlos Duffy and Adrian Young, Jazz is Dead 25. So they keep doing these Jazz is Dead series. There are a bunch of kind of other types of things coming. Motorhead, the Manticore tapes, gets a release on a picture disc vinyl. There are some Christmas, I know, Christmas singles. So there's a whole series of older ones that I would say if you want these, you're going to have to let me know because I probably won't have a lot of these sitting around, but they're about $15. There's Bing Crosby's White Christmas. I think that's on white vinyl. Dean Martin's Let It Snow, Let It Snow. That might also be, these are all color vinyl. Bobby Helms' Jingle Bell Rock. And the Jackson 5 Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Those 445s, Capitol Records, I believe, or is it EMI? I'm not sure which. Well, this says Geffen release. Okay, so Universal is doing these, and but the two big ones, I think probably that people are going to request the most: Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, and John and Yoko, John Lennon, Happy Christmas, War is Over, both on color vinyl as 45s. Those are very cool. And maybe that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh my gosh, I made it through this video quickly. I got to open the store, right? So I did just want to say before I go, this is going to be a shorter video than usual, but I did want to mention, before I do that, there are a couple of CDs I forgot here. Thompson Twins have a best of. It's a 3 CD set. Disc 1 is the Hits Remastered. Disc 2, Deep Cuts and Babble. That was like when they changed their name because Thompson Twins were like, I don't know, the 90s didn't want them with a name. And the third disc is Into the Gap Live, which I think has been recently put out on vinyl. It's the CD version. But this does feature, I don't know why they put, the band chose these songs, but they put Sugar Daddy on disc 2, which was a hit. Probably should have been on disc 1. But it does have Passion Planet and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on disc 2. Two of their really great sort of underground or harder to find tracks. And then songs from their later albums that are actually really good. They just didn't sell so well. The KT Tunstall Eye to the Telescope CD edition has a whole bonus CD on this Stargazer edition of a bunch of live stuff and that kind of B-sides and things like that, in case you're interested. And also Peter Gabriel and Sinead O'Connor. This is I don't know if this is official or not, but it was in my order. Long Beach, 1993. So that's a concert that they gave. Oh, it says radio broadcast. But anyway, it's like 10 songs. So yeah, so what I was going to say real quickly before I leave is I want to say condolences to the family and friends of Philadelphia DJ WMMR's Pierre Robert. It's just a very sad, sudden passing that we have to contend with. And I think for people who especially grew up in the Philadelphia region and were familiar with listening to him on a daily basis, all the rock music and artists that he promoted and all the good works and deeds that he did for record stores and people who, blood drives and all sorts of things. He really was truly a remarkable individual, and it's just a shame that here we are dealing with another loss in the music community. So, my condolences to Pierre Robert and the people that knew him and loved him. So, that was sort of a big news item that came down yesterday. And thanks everybody for watching as usual. I really appreciate it. And I know this one was a little bit rushed, but I got a store to run and I'm already a few minutes late. So, all right, take care. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the music. There's plenty of stuff, I think. I mean, if you look back at the last few weeks of videos, it's insane how many videos, how much stuff has come out. So, yeah, you're falling behind. Okay. Peace and shh. Shh. That one's for the cats. Okay. Or dogs. See ya.